What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Meet Me in the Basement podcast. We are the most opinionated mixed martial arts podcast on the market. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 274. That's going to be Justin the Highlight Gaethje versus Charles do Bronx Oliveira. This is for the lightweight title, of course. So, we all know Oliveira is the new guy in town as far as champions at lightweight. It's taken a long time, but I think he's finally gotten past the stigma of dealing with Khabib's legacy, because Khabib obviously left. Charles didn't win it from him. It was Charles versus Chandler, which was Chandler's second fight in the UFC. I think at that point, a lot of people were kind of not laughing about it, but not giving it the respect that Oliveira deserved, especially because of his run at featherweight where he didn't do so hot. We've seen so much improvement from Oliveira just in his last couple of fights. So a lot of people are saying that this is going to be like your classic grappler versus striker, but I don't know if that's really like the best way to describe this fight. Everyone knows Gaethje's a D1 wrestler. It didn't really show in the Khabib fight. But anyone comparing Charles Oliveira's grappling to Khabib doesn't really know what they're talking about, because they're two wildly different styles. Khabib's all about the control and pinning you down and blasting you with ground and pound. Charles Oliveira's always looking for the sub, you know what I mean? He's chasing like rear naked chokes. He's not really necessarily looking to get you in half guard against the cage. So I think that Justin Gaethje's defense isn't going to look the same as it did against Khabib. That's not to say that I think he's going to do any better. He might, get manhandled by Oliveira. Oliveira's great on the ground, but I also think that anyone thinking that Oliveira is going to be completely outmatched on the feet is wildly off. So, over the last couple of fights, I think we've seen Oliveira's Muay Thai specifically tighten up a lot and get very sharp. So he's got dangerous elbows, dangerous knees. Against Poirier, I think one of the best examples of this, they ended up tying up in the clinch, and Oliveira kind of switched stance and went with the left lead knee right on Dustin Poirier, right under his elbow, right in the friggin' rib cage. And, those take a lot out of you, especially with someone like Gaethje's style, where he throws a lot into every punch. I wouldn't say we've necessarily seen him gas out, but we've seen him switch to a different gear, where it's a little slower and everything's a little more labored, and his hands are low. So late in the rounds, that's bad news for him on the feet. So I think that a lot's going to happen. I think early on we're going to see Gaethje drop Charles Oliveira at least once. I mean, that almost goes without saying. We saw Oliveira get dropped by Michael Chandler. That was, you could even call it a 10-8 round. I think Michael Bisping would argue that it was. I'm not saying I necessarily would, but fuck it. Most opinionated mixed martial arts podcast. Yeah, it was a 10-7 round. Fuck it. We'll call it a 10-7, but Charlie Olives with the comeback anyways. Comes back and gets it done with the nice left hook, and that's what we're talking about. That cheeky little left hook. I think he's going to be able to sneak in on Gaethje if Gaethje gets a little too overzealous with his striking, which he seems to have tightened that up in his game a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of bit. One of the best in the world under Trevor Whitman. He's also training with Kamaru Usman, so his grappling, I'm sure, is getting tested every single day in the gym. But I think Charles is going to clip Gaethje in the feet. And don't get me wrong, it won't come without adversity first, but if he does that, Gaethje's probably going to look to clinch up. And if he clinches up, Oliveira's going to trip him, take him to the ground, take his back. So we know how that goes. So not much to say there. Hopefully Gaethje's improved his submission defense, because we saw him get mounted and triangle choked by Khabib. So, if Charles Oliveira gets mount, it's over. Right then and there, I'm going to have to guess and say it's over. Gaethje, he's probably going to give his back trying to get up. That's not good. If he doesn't, he could get triangled, he could get armbarred. We saw a vicious armbar from Charles Oliveira against Tony Ferguson, where he pretty much destroyed his elbow. I don't even think I remember a report being filed about, like, an injury or anything like that. Tony just kind of played it off like it was nothing, but we saw that elbow pop out, that was gross. So, a lot can happen in this fight. A lot can definitely happen, but I think as of right now, I'm going to have to pick Oliveira. That's my official prediction. I think Oliveira is going to get dropped a couple times early, fight through it, and clip Gaethje in return, and then take it to the ground and submit him. I don't see Gaethje getting knocked out. Obviously, Gaethje could knock out Oliveira at any given moment, He's got the power. I think Gaethje's best weapon is probably when he leads with the right uppercut and then follows with the left hook. Especially where if Oliveira's trying to grapple and trying to clinch, if Oliveira goes to grab a clinch, Gaethje could slide that uppercut right up the middle, right in between his arms, right between his guard, and then follow with that left hook, even bring it a little high so it goes over the guard of Oliveira, crack him right on the chin. That could be a good night. But we've seen Oliveira come back from adversity. We've also seen Gaethje be able to stick it out and go 5 rounds tough like that. But like I said, if he slows down even a little bit, it's going to be an open invite for Charles Oliveira. Charles has a great double leg takedown too. What I love about Charles Oliveira's double leg takedown, he doesn't just wrap, like, grapevine the legs with the arms. What he does is he shoots in, grabs the legs with the arms, and then takes the leg that he shoots off of. So if he's in orthodox, it would be his left. If he's in southpaw, it would be his right. He'll take that lead leg, wrap it around the opponent's leg, so then he can free up his hands to go a little bit higher, turn the corner a little bit easier, and get the takedown. And not only that, when you shoot the double leg like that, you don't end up in the opponent's guard because you're already past one of their legs. So you end up in half guard, and if you're smooth, you can even end up in side control, which is, Gaethje could scramble out of there because it's harder to pin someone down, but he also could get his arm or his neck taken from that position. So I think that's going to wrap it up. Official prediction is going to be is going to be Charles Oliveira, and still. So before we go, I do want to shout out my little brother Matthew. He started his own flooring company called Floortona. It's a play on our name, so if you don't get it, get it. Anyways, if you want to give him a call, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, let's try to get that focused on there. Hopefully that's not a mirror image for you guys, but we'll find out in editing. So thank you all for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Thank you again for checking us out. And yeah, we hope you enjoy the pay-per-view, only on ESPN+. We'll see you later, baby.